Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Midday Update. I'm Laz. Today I want to spend just a few minutes. I want to look at the broader index. I want to look at the S&Ps, and then I want to look at a couple of stocks. Really a very lackluster session. Let's take a look here at the S&Ps. I'm going to pop right into the chart. And going back, this is the daily of the S&Ps. You can see here what I've highlighted is, we broke this rising trend line, a few weeks back, about 7 or 8 trading sessions ago. And since that break of this short-term trend line, this is the spiders, we really have been in a very, very tight, controlled, non-directional range. And you can see that highlighted here by these two annotated lines, really the upper boundary around 142 and the lower boundary at 140. So a very, very tight range the market has been in for, this is about the 9th session in a row. Now, what do we do here? Well, we sit and we wait because when this range resolves itself, whether it's a trade higher through 142 or a trade lower through 140, there will be some actionable trades that we can look at that time. The market is digesting, consolidating, whatever you want to call this. This is a very, very choppy type of trading session. You have to be very, very careful in these types of markets because in a matter of 15 minutes the market can look great, and then 15 minutes later the market could be at the lows, and it's a non-committed trade. So we look at smaller time frames. Here's a 30-minute chart just to kind of highlight that point. You can see this up and down, ebb and flow type of price action that the market's been in since Labor Day and even the week going into Labor Day. So pretty wild gyrations here, but like I said, no commitment to a trade. At this point, we are now into the lunchtime hour. It's about even past. It's about 1 o'clock. Now, that being said, I do want to take a look at a couple of symbols that are very, very noteworthy today. I'm going to start out with Goldman Sachs. It's been hugging this 8 period, hugging, just riding this average, and finally, breaking away today. And we're seeing a good intraday trade there. Good buy setup here on an intraday trade that we talked about in the active trader room this morning on this 13-minute buy setup strategy. So it looks like Goldman continuing to leg higher. Another noteworthy stock that I think is more upside potentially is LinkedIn, LNKD. Breaking higher today. Again, it's been a very difficult trade, LinkedIn, and you can see that it slowly, began to creep higher today, seeing, real buying there. And again, on a 13-minute chart, you saw that breakaway early this morning. We just spent the better part of lunch basing. We're at new highs right now at 1 o'clock. So look for higher prices here in LinkedIn as well. Cruise, CRUS is the symbol. Another good-looking daily chart, CRUS. Keep an eye out for higher prices. Again, this pattern has been working very, very nicely. Rising averages, very controlled pullback over the last couple of sessions into the 8. We're seeing buyers step back in today. Akamai tried to break through highs today. You can see we earlier in the session we were above prior highs here around 38. But tailing off a little bit and sitting at lows. So if you're underwater here, be careful with this one. Doesn't look like it's ready to follow through, but still a very good-looking chart overall. Just might need some more time before buyers step in and take this one potentially higher. And lastly, Disney. Again, just a couple of symbols that I wanted to highlight. This is a daily of Disney. Hasn't really been in play per se. Haven't really seen a whole lot of good trading here, but clearly breaking out above prior highs up here around 50 and a half, and again intraday, very good looking intraday chart, and I suspect this one might trade higher into the close today. So that being said, while the market isn't really giving us or producing a good trade per se in terms of the general indexes, there are stocks that you need to pay attention to that have good daily charts that are continuing to slowly grind higher, and then eventually, that momentum kicks in, and that's what you're seeing today. And again, just a couple of the symbols that I highlighted. So wait for this market, wait for the range to resolve itself. There's still an underlying bid here in the market. There's still a very bullish undertone here. The Apples of the world sort of taking a break today. A lot of the higher beta stocks just sort of taking a rest. Facebook, another one gapping up this morning. I'll just touch on Facebook. I think the market was looking for a little bit of a short squeeze as the stock gapped up I think it was 2 or 3% this morning. This is an intraday. Let's look at the daily. But it's been riding underneath these declining averages. This is still a very weak stock, and I'd be very, very careful about stepping into this one. Let me show you the chart here. As a buyer here, this is Facebook. Again, we saw 2 days of selling, eliminated this morning. We gapped up above yesterday's high, and some buyers stepped in to take us back up. But we do have a lot of overhead here and a lot of resistance just above. So if you're one of those traders looking for a bottom here, again, I just don't think that trade is going to be as simple as it goes straight back up. There's a lot of resistance that this stock's going to have to pile through before this becomes a compelling or even decent long. So again, I just wanted to cover a couple of symbols, but I really wanted to highlight the point that the market is really very choppy right here. Although it's post Labor Day and a lot of traders were looking for to get right back in and have this market break higher, it's just not happening yet. Give it time. At some point we'll get range resolution. Again, the upper boundary in the SPY is 142, lower is 140. Look for a volume driven trade above one of those two prices in the coming days. At some point we will see that trade. So be prepared, be nimble. Again, focus on good intraday charts right now. That's really where money's being made. And as always, a plan trader is a profitable trader. I'm Laz. Have a good day.